Hi, everybody. Welcome to the To Be Brutally Honest show. We're back. I think we're actually going to post this one on Twitter and YouTube, because I think this would be a good show. We got Parker in Cal State Fullerton in his, very empty room, and we got
True.
Peyton Schultz in Florida. Well,
What do you
actually,
mean,
he's
Florida?
sorry. He's on Yavin 4.
Correct.
And I got my third favorite president behind me. So
Who's 1 and 2?
FDR is number 1. 2 is Lincoln.
If you do
Lincoln's
the
gotta
inverse,
be up
then
there.
then I agree. If you do Lincoln 1, FDR 2,
There you go. And
there you
I mean,
go.
John's just a savage. I mean, look at the guy.
Speaking of presidents, did you see the COD trailer? Ronald Reagan is in it.
Yeah, I did see that. Guy's electric. Whereas
As,
library is Simi Valley
I
represent.
was just gonna say, as Simi residents, we can relate to his story.
It's true. Well, let's jump right into it. You want to start with NBA or Major League Baseball? Well, I guess we'll start NBA really quick. There's a lot going on there.
There is a lot of stuff going on.
So, as we all know, they took a hiatus from the playoff games. It was a boycott. I want to use the correct term so I don't get yelled at by LeBron James on Instagram. They boycotted the games because of the shooting of Jacob Blake. What was his name? Jacob Jordan?
Yep.
Jacob Blake. Yeah, it was pretty controversial. Some people didn't want to play anymore. Other people said, hey, we should be playing. A lot of controversy going on. So any thoughts on the matter? Was it a good thing to do to stop play? Was it a bad thing?
Well, as someone that's currently on a resistance base right now, I'm all for what they did and stuff like that. So I have absolutely no problem with it. Did the right thing. Also, shout out to the Dodgers, also doing the right thing. Today's Jackie Robinson Day as well. Great day. But yeah, I told plenty of people about it already, but I'm for the players in this sense. Thought they did the right thing. Good day for sports. Better day for America.
I tend to agree.
You tend to agree? That's all you got up there? Big fella?
Yeah, no, I mean it was a respectable decision. I mean, at this point in time, we've taken breaks from certain things and nothing's really happened. So I feel like the NBA taking a break and then they agreed to kind of extend their platform to make legitimate change. So obviously they're opening all the NBA arenas for voting centers. I haven't heard what else is going to happen, but they said more's to come. So
They're
so
doing
just
advertising for voting and that kind of stuff. I think
on the billboards, or not billboards, but the
games.
Yeah,
the video
so
board.
I just had an interesting connection here because I just talked about the Dodgers and baseball and stuff. Because I don't know why this was sticking in my head, but I'll just say it. But you ever seen Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee?
Yeah.
So there's the most famous scene in that movie. Yeah, the character's name that Spike Lee plays is Mookie. And they say, always do the right thing. And that's the most known thing in that film. And then what jersey does he happen to be wearing in that scene? Jackie Robinson jersey. What's today's day? Jackie Robinson Day. So cool little connection there. Just
wow, look at you with your Thanos cup.
It's pretty cool when you can see it. There we go. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you guys. I think it was the right move, but do you think they should still play, or do you think they shouldn't play? Because they boycotted, which was good. It's the right thing to do, but should they continue to play, or do they sit out or they just not finish the season? What do you think?
Well, I think what they ultimately seem to have agreed upon is that by still playing these games, they're still, having the highest profile that they can possibly have in terms of the public light, which is why I assume they made the return to the games or are going to tomorrow. So you can take it either way. I know some leagues New York Football Giants considering a boycott for Week 1 in the NFL. Shout out resident fan Dennis Petty, resident Giants fan, and like we said, baseball, hockey, even
that was big.
Yeah,
because there's not a lot of American players, and there's even less African American players, and still they, supported their very few African American players and
did the right thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, whatever decision they would have made, I would have agreed with ultimately. I think it's along those lines where you just kind of have to listen and react. It's at the point where our opinions are irrelevant, in my opinion. So it's my opinion that our opinions are irrelevant when it comes to this case. So yeah, I'm all for it. Even the refs are for it. You say they had a march?
I did, yeah.
The referees.
Yeah.
So the way I see it is you can't – the only way that this would be a wrong decision is if they don't utilize the platform right now. The NBA was obviously they're in the playoffs right now. They're a big part of pop culture right now. In that there's not much to do, so a lot of people have been watching them. Then they stop everything. So everyone's kind of thinking, what's their next move? A lot of people are going to be watching. So if they resume games tomorrow and immediately start advertising certain things or something like that, people are going to catch on and notice. But if they just keep playing like nothing, then that might be a mistake.
Yeah, they made their decision, as you guys said, so they're going to play, which is good. You have arguably, one of the best platforms, having the bubble. Everybody's in one spot to kind of talk about what they're going to do, and I think they've done it the right way. I think Chris Paul's done a great job as the Players Association president, and he's really stepped up, and, he's not talking about radical change. He's just asking for help. So, asking the owners to set up voting stuff in the stadium is a big deal.
Yeah, well, I'll touch upon that point too. I'm known for being very critical of Chris Paul and Doc Rivers on the court, but in terms of things they've done off the court as of late, I'm all for it. They're making the right thing. Chris Paul is the perfect person to be in charge of this. As much as I love LeBron and stuff like that, sometimes his power can be a little too much in terms of how he can shift a lot of people's focuses on one thing, which is a strength. But I think Chris Paul is a good person to have like this because he also has that star power without being the most known player in the NBA.
Right.
So yeah, I think you're right. I think he's good at being able to connect everyone together. Because he's I read an article. He's friends with Disney's CEO Bob Iger. They're close friends, and that's part of the reason why it was able to happen in the first place.
That's interesting. All right. Well, since they're playing, who do we got going to the finals?
Probably the same that you have, Lakers Celtics. We are in a pick'em poll right now, me and Connor. Oh wait, are you in that?
I'm not.
But you would have made the same choice?
Yep.
Yeah, I've been on the Celtics from the minute the bubble started. I just felt like they have really, really good depth in shooting compared to a lot of the Eastern Conference teams. I think they'll be the team that would mostly concern me actually with the Celtics is Miami. In terms of Miami's ability to shoot the ball and play defense, that to me is a formula to winning in the bubble right now. I haven't loved the way Milwaukee's played necessarily. Just a lot of close games with Orlando. You never know. I think they could turn it around easily. But the Celtics are the one team that I felt pretty confident about, even though a lot of people weren't picking them. I felt like they were being slept. And then as a Laker fan, 17th championship in sight.
It's going to be interesting to see. Like you said, the Celtics have kind of flown under the radar. You talk about your 76ers, you talk about your Bucks. Another team that you mentioned, the Heat, kind of flew under the radar. And then, the Raptors are always in the conversation.
Yes.
They're the last year's champ. So, I mean, that's going to be an interesting series, seeing the Celtics versus the Raptors, how they match up.
Fun series.
And then on the Western Conference, I mean, just how the Lakers, they kind of had a rough game 1, but I don't think Anthony Davis played very well that game. But
Game 1.
If Anthony Davis shows up and plays like he can, I think
it probably swept.
They're a pretty hard team to beat. So it should be interesting to see.
Before I'll say something else, Parker, you have a prediction?
Someone's gonna win.
All right.
Not a baby.
Connor, so I had this conversation.
Well, hold on. He said, however,
I was just gonna. Can I talk?
Go for it.
I said my bad.
I was just gonna ask your guys' thoughts on the Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis winning instead of Anthony Davis.
It was deserved.
Okay. I know a lot of people were mad about that.
I just want to say Marcus Smart didn't even get a vote.
Yeah, but Patrick Beverley got a first-team vote.
Yeah.
The dude that just runs around.
Exactly.
Stupid. I will say I'm not the biggest Marcus Smart fan in the world, but he is a very plus defender.
Very good defender. He just needs to be, he needs to be recognized.
Yeah, but Parker, what you said, AD had a good year, Gobert had a good year, but in terms of the building block,
had a wild year.
I would definitely say it was Giannis.
Will you give me 1 second? I have to go over there and help this guy figure it out because he's old,
Go ahead.
How to get on the Zoom.
Go ahead. Me and Parker will talk about the Dodgers a little bit. Oh wow, he's full.
I just turn off the video.
Did you watch the games yesterday at all?
I watched the first part of the second game.
Well, 22 was dominant.
Oh yeah.
22 was dominant, and then who is in the second game? Who is the guy that pitched after Ferguson? I don't really know him.
I think his name's Victor Gonzalez.
Is he good?
He's been their guy. I think he has the most multiple outings out of the bullpen. He made his major league debut this year, but yeah, he's one of the guys now.
I know a lot of Dodger fans keep talking about it, but I like this Gratterall. I can't say his name.
Gratterall?
I like him a lot. I like his
he's a hero.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. They he has the easiest 100 miles an hour ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's filthy.
It's scary. And then I wrote something else about the Dodgers. Walker Buehler blister injury.
Brutal. Thought we were done with blisters once Rich Hill left, but
we are not. May pitches today, I think.
Or they in Texas, right?
May Day.
I'll check.
Yeah, it'll be their first game at the new Texas ballpark.
Wow. Got going against Mike Minor. 6.75 ERA. That's tough.
Lit up this year?
Yeah.
He has, right? Yeah,
it's not like 5.
Tomorrow is Stripling versus the great Lance Lynn.
Stripling Stripling started the year being like a savage. He's tied for the most home runs allowed. As 10. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
It's a 3-way tie. But yeah, 10.
You know who it's with?
No. I just saw Stripling that kind of stuck out. Paddock.
Paddock, really?
Paddock's one of them, yeah. So it's tough.
And then did you see Mr. Clayton Kershaw is now the winningest pitcher in MLB history as a left-hander?
I didn't know he was even I didn't know that was like a thing until he won it. So
it's based off win percentage. So, I mean, you take it with a grain of salt because that could shift at any moment. He could win the next game, and now he's no longer that person. But still, quite impressive from our ace. I didn't know the Mets and Yankees were playing today.
They play each other?
Yeah, they're playing each other right now.
Ooh, Waka, but I didn't know he was on the Mets.
Waka. So what, did the Mets play last night or not? They didn't, right?
They
Okay.
took the field and then just left
They call it Mr. Manfred's initiative.
as a clown.
Not his best.
Any
Well,
chance he
I mean,
has?
the protest I'm for, but the scripted nature of it from Commissioner Manfred, I'm not biggest fan of. There he is.
Whoa, nice virtual background
Yeah.
there, Chief.
That is a good background. Welcome, Griffin.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you? Do you like the base that I'm at?
It's all right.
Yeah. What, are you more of a Hoth guy?
No, I'm a big Jedi Temple fan, but that's okay.
Connor, where were we at before you left?
We were talking about trade
Kinda
deadline.
shift- Oh, trade deadline. Oh, yeah.
Lot of stuff going around. We got Griffin, who's a big Red Sox fan, so I guess we'll start there.
Mm-hmm.
I read something a couple days ago that our Red Sox are talking with the Braves to trade Xander Bogaerts there. Actually, I like the return that we were thinking that was, proposed. So they were thinking
Dansby
Mike
included?
Soroka and Dansby.
Dansby would be
One
neat.
doesn't have an Achilles.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
I mean, I'm okay. He says he should be fine with the Achilles. He came out and said that he uses his thigh, not his like his calf to push off. So he should be back fine. But it's definitely a downgrade going from Xander Bogaerts to Dansby Swanson. But
What exactly is the point of even making that trade?
Clear cap space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Xander's contract, he signed a huge extension last season, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll allow the rebuild to happen faster.
Okay. And then I would assume Swanson's pretty cheap as of right now. I don't think he's signed any kind of contract.
Right.
No. Yeah.
And then Soroka, I mean, like you said, when he's healthy, clearly he's still pretty solid. But if I was a Red Sox fan, I would be upset if they traded Xander Bogaerts.
It's okay. They have a long history of trading franchise shortstops. They do it a lot.
Are you a Heim fan?
I'm sorry?
Are you a Heim fan?
No. No. This guy's a clown. I don't understand. He said that he's happy with the pitching staff, which makes zero sense to me. They've allowed more runs this season than Pedro Martinez did, in one season. I think up until, whenever they stopped playing, it was 124 to 122 or whatever it was.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. I mean, they only have one good arm in the bullpen, who's at Workman.
Yeah.
Nope, traded him.
Yeah, see, there you go. Problem solved. Now we have nothing.
now?
Workman. We traded Workman and Heath Hembry. I freaking hated that guy, but we traded him to the Phillies because they had the worst bullpen, even worse than us. Yeah, even the only good guy is Barnes, but he only has a fastball, curveball, and it doesn't really work out very well.
Yeah. So.
Well, what about Jackie Bumley? You think he's getting moved?
I hope so. I mean, I don't know what you're going to get back for him. He's at best a defensive replacement. The man can play center field, but he hits 130. So I don't understand what value he could add to a team.
It's true. And then the other candidate for a trade, JD Martinez.
We should trade him. He should have been traded already. I don't understand. The season's over for the Red Sox. Season's over.
Mm-hmm.
So we might as well just try and figure out who we're going to have next season when everybody comes back from injury or having a heart attack, I guess. Eduardo Rodriguez, something like that.
Yeah.
And then where do you think possible suitors could be for Martinez, assuming he would probably stay in the AL?
In the AL,
he doesn't. Oh yeah, he did. You're right there.
Well, I mean, he's a middling outfielder at best. Nelson Cruz used to play the outfield, and we all know how that went.
Blue World Series.
I would say the Twins, probably.
Okay.
or the Padres. I mean, if they want him to play the field, but even then, with the universal DH this season, I would say the Padres are a likely candidate because they're 96% to make the playoffs this season or something like that.
Yeah.
So that would make sense if I was the Padres.
That would be dangerous. I mean, there's right now, I think we can all say the Dodgers are probably the favorite in the NL.
Yes.
But I think that with Martinez in there for the Padres, I think that's at least like a serious threat to the Dodgers.
Well, he's a certified Dodger killer.
Exactly.
He is a certified Dodger killer. That's right.
Yep.
True.
Like Cole Calhoun, also a Dodger killer. That fool.
Jesus. Tell me, all he does is headbutt things. It's fun. He does nothing.
That was pretty funny the other day. Absolutely ridiculous, but funny.
It doesn't surprise me at all that he was the person that does that. He's exactly that type of person.
All right, and then any other people possibly getting moved? Bauer's been mentioned.
Yeah, I was going to point that out. I heard the other day, Bauer and Clevenger both going to the Dodgers. And I'm like, I've heard that like
Not
6 years in a row. It's never
Dodger
happened.
fans are the worst, guys.
No,
It's like
yeah.
I just did not have.
you just throw out the randomest things ever, and you just
Wasn't me.
expect it to happen.
It wasn't me. But yeah, no. So I found, like the Dodgers. I don't think they need pitching. I mean, they boded all right in their bullpen games. Starting pitching's been pretty good. So I don't know what they would pursue at this point.
It's not going to matter once you get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You still have Kershaw on your squad and Kenley Jansen.
Okay.
Does
I
Baez still pitch? Does Baez
still pitch?
He does.
There you go. That's the answer.
I have said since day one the Dodgers won't win a World Series until Kershaw wins both of his starts in the series.
That's fair.
I will stick to that point.
Of course, because he's 48 years old, still trying to be a number one. We all know Walker Buehler's the clear favorite in that rotation, but they still throw Kershaw out there. Okay, so
Yeah, he went on the 10-day injured list because he has a blister. Like, how soft can you be?
well, he pitches for the Dodgers. But
Okay.
they breed softness out there.
Sure.
All right.
What was I going to say? So, yeah, Bauer was mentioned. He's honestly at this point probably one of the favorites for the NL Cy Young with the way he's pitching.
I didn't see why Bauer would be a trade candidate just because, I mean, the Reds are in fourth place.
Connor also predicted the Reds to be in the World Series.
Yeah,
Are you what?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, no. Okay, they have a sneaky lineup, okay?
They do.
Because everybody forgets about Nicholas Castellanos, who hits bombs. And then they have a Junio Suarez, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
And they got Joey Votto. They got Mike Moustakas. They have all these guys that sneak up on you and drop bombs. They just haven't all played together because, Votto went out early. Castellanos has been on the IL. They've all had injuries here and there, so they haven't played together yet. I think if they play together, they could be a good team, but it's too late now.
I still think they're very much playoff candidates just because they're 5 games out of first place. Obviously, the season is going to move quick. So one hot streak mixed with a Cubs cold streak could
they
very
just have
well
to be second.
put them up there. What? Yeah.
They don't necessarily have to win the division. They just have to get second or get one of the wild cards.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're up there. So if they trade away their guy, then that's just kind of giving up the season.
Well, as a prior Trevor Bauer hater, or probably even current, if I'm a team, how seriously do you want him? What kind of resources are you willing to give up for a guy that in the World Series, cut his finger open because of a drone?
The guy's a problem. All he does is bring up, things that he has no opinion. He should have no opinion on. He plays once every 5 days, and if I hear another thing about spin rate, I'm going to drive to his house myself.
Well, I'm glad we now have 3 haters of Bauer here.
Oh, I was the original Trevor Bauer hater. I've hated him for years.
Probably since UCLA when he did his stupid,
Yes,
warm-up routine.
that when he did that workout, but he came to Royal to throw with Cody Buckell a lot. And the year he got drafted, he came back and we were playing catch in the vicinity, and I threw a ball. It wasn't close to hitting him. It wasn't, my throwing partner moved one step to the left, and that caused the chain reaction of being screamed at by Trevor Bauer for like 15 minutes because I was unable to throw a ball and hit the guy perfectly in the chest from 150 feet away. I hope his kids get bird flu.
Yeah, we talked about, I think Parker mentioned Clevenger, especially when he broke protocol and left to go get his stuff. I think he's going to get traded.
I feel like, sorry.
Potential landing spot.
Okay.
Since I got cut off there. You buffoon. Would probably be the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
For what? They're in last.
Yeah, but it's just they're getting rid of people and they need pitching, so might as well do it. Because they would have control over Clevenger for a couple of years versus Bauer, who's a free agent at the end of the year.
Yeah, that is true. And then, they might move Bundy since all of a sudden he's good. They've been rumored that they're going to try and move him. I don't know, again, who would be interested in him that much. But I personally have not been on the Clevenger wagon for a while either, especially when you're breaking protocol. So how are you going to trade for that guy and feel confident in yourself that he's going to make good decisions, be a reliable ace for years to come? Not even ace, but a top rotation.
He's a third rotation star. He's like a 3 guy.
I agree.
But
for the Angels,
Angels, they get a guy that can stand on the mound. They kept Jared Weaver pitch for them for years. Okay, and he was their ace. Like the Angels have been a joke for a decade.
Yep. And then, there doesn't seem to me, among all the names I've seen, that there's going to be a lot of position players moved. We kind of mentioned the Red Sox ones, but is there any other ones that kind of come to mind that you could see? I know Arenado and Lindor would obviously be ones, but I don't see there being any chance they get moved.
Anyone from the Giants?
Okay, yeah. You scrimmed.
Yes.
Carter, you can say it was your first word.
It's true. We learned how to spell it as kids.
Yeah, I think he's very good. So he could be
Mike Yastrzemski, and then they keep throwing Lindor's name out there. The Indians do. I haven't been paying attention to Indians baseball, but if you can get something in return before you have to give him like that massive contract that the Indians never give anyone, then this would be the year to do it.
Yeah.
You just cut your losses for the rest of the 60 games and then come back with a fresh new roster, and you don't have to sign Lindor.
The problem with Lindor, though, if I'm a team interested in trading for him, is that there's so many other great upcoming or young shortstops right now.
Like who?
No, I'm just saying in baseball in general. The Tatis, the Storys, the Xander Bogaerts, the Seagers, Connor.
Stop. That's another guy, though.
Stop.
Kyle Seager might go somewhere.
He's had a good year this year. We can't deny that. We can't deny that when on the field, he's had a solid year this year.
Yeah, on the field.
Yeah, when on the field. He's the – okay, maybe not this great, but he's very Joel Embiid-esque in the sense where you can't really consider him great because he's not on the field enough.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's how I would rate him like that. But with Lindor, you're going to have to give him, I assume, a major contract. And is he going to be worth that contract when – I mean, really, a lot of people think that Lindor bats .330 every year, and he's hitting more like .270 every year.
He's 26.
Yeah.
Right in his prime. So the up-and-coming young shortstops, they still haven't figured it out. You can get a tried and true tested major league all-star shortstop. and you can build around him or add to an existing piece. Tatis was playing well last year too, but then he did something with his leg and he was out for the rest of the season.
Yep.
Seager is Seager about it, and then Trevor Story, for however good he is, he's still 60. And he's in Colorado. So if you take him out of Colorado and put him in like an actual major league stadium, I don't know how well he does.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty nailed there. So yeah, I don't see Lindor getting moved. I would be really surprised because you would assume that team's going to try and offer him long-term contract. So we'll see.
They have pieces there. I mean, they still have Jose, whatever his name is.
In Cleveland?
Yeah.
That guy's been a disaster ever since he signed that contract.
Jose Ramirez, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's been god-awful.
I mean, they have him. They got, they still have pieces that have the potential to be good. They just haven't.
Sandy Leon?
Yeah, exactly. The only active Hall of Famer in Major League Baseball.
We all know that's not true.
Well, that's where you're wrong. I mean, he's hitting 190 up from last year.
Baby steps for the 34-year-old catcher. He'll get there eventually.
And then one more thing. We have a couple more minutes before we'll take our break. So we were talking about the shortstops right now. I think Tatis right now has to be considered the NL MVP favorite. Do you guys agree, disagree?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
He's quickly becoming a top 5 player in the league.
I mean, I saw when I first heard that he was coming up last year, you can just tell the kid's something special. But, I mean, the way that he plays the game is refreshing to watch, I guess, is the way that I would put it.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether he swings 3-0 or not, but he can back it up.
Yeah.
He's not like Harper, who, if he swings 3-0, he pops up and throws the bat at somebody.
Yeah, this is true.
That's another guy who's, had a consistent year, a shockingly consistent year. It's not like where he sucked to the first half, and he hits like 350 the second half to bring his batting average to 290 and because he hits like every year, because Griffin and I always talk about it. Like his first half always sucks. Where he hits like 150, and then he'll have like a fantastic second half. But only because his first half is so bad, so his batting average can only get to like 270. But it's still like his second half is just miraculous. So I mean, he's still playing consistent, which is good for him.
It is kind of a surprise on that. Nobody's even really talking about Harper this year, but you're kind of right. He has had a pretty solid season considering what we're used to at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think he changed his stance again, which is, that's always fun to watch. But I think there's more of a sense of urgency when you don't have, 600 at-bats in a season. You got to be ready to go right away. And I think that with 60 games, he didn't have the time to, say it's okay, it's just the first half. No, we got to get going right away. Plus, his hair is fantastic.
The Phillies' record hasn't been amazing, though, by any means. I think they're still below 500. Don't quote me on that. So, I mean, once again, they're kind of falling below expectations.
Yeah, they're 12 and 14. The Marlins are in second place, so they're going to be buyers.
So you really think they're going to go all in at the trade deadline?
Why not?
What? Because
really?
Derek Jeter runs their team?
I mean, they're 14 and 12. They're 2 games back of Atlanta. Might as well, right?
You're telling me if you were in charge of the Marlins, you would buy at this deadline.
I would buy 1 or 2 people. I wouldn't go out and buy everybody.
First of all, you can't say buy people. It's 2020, okay? Second of all, with what money?
They have the best prospect pool in baseball because they traded everybody.
Yeah, so why would you need to spend more money if you can just bring up players to finish your 60-game season?
As I mean, imagine if they had like a solid rock in their middle of their lineup, like a JD Martinez, or they just have one guy that they lead.
Not like great. They'll still make the playoffs and then lose.
Yeah, the Marlins were supposed to be good in 2013 with one of the best lineups that I've ever seen assembled. Young Christian Yelich, young Marcell Ozuna. Stanton was healthy back then.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Reyes at shortstop back when he was still playing well. And there's just no faith in that organization and that they're going to be bad. It's just this so happens, the first half of the season that they've managed to win, when you think about it, 14 games. Okay? It's not like it's 14 games. You're 2 games above 500. I just don't see them being buyers at the deadline.
If they were, it'd be, I think, ridiculous.
Well, I mean, they would probably go after some middle arm, Clevenger maybe.
Yeah, that's possible. Probably gonna have to take our break right now. We're less than a minute. So, all right, we'll be right back. TBBH.
All right.
All right.
And we're back. So we're kind of continuing with baseball still. I don't know if you guys saw. It's kind of weird, but they're doing, for the playoffs, they're doing host cities, kind of like a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
So for the AL, they're doing it in Los Angeles and San Diego. And then the NL is in Texas for Arlington and Houston.
Weird. Yeah,
I don't know why
they're doing that.
But that's what they're doing. Makes no sense. There's more NL teams in California, and there's both NL cities versus 2 AL. It's just weird to me. It doesn't make any sense.
Continued trend of nonsense from Commissioner Manfred. But yeah, I don't even really have an answer as to why that. I mean, the stadium idea is good. It's very easy to do in Southern California.
Yeah.
And Texas is really not that bad either.
I mean, I guess the main theory would be like, say, I don't know. I guess it would take the theory of home field advantage just out of the picture, just because, I mean, if you had the NL playing at Dodger Stadium and San Diego, what if the Padres had a game in San Diego or the Dodgers had a game in LA? So I guess putting – what?
There's no fans.
That's fair. But I guess just knowing your surroundings, I don't know. But yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they come out with a vaccine between them, and then they let fans in for the bubbles. And then
maybe. I didn't really think of that.
And then you don't have your hometown fans. Like, if you're a Rangers fan, why would you go to Globe Life, whatever the hell it's called now, and go see an NL team play? Why would you want to do that?
Fair.
Besides go see Clayton Kershaw pitch potentially.
I mean, I guess yes. It just seems logistically like there's a lot of issues at hand.
I mean, the MLB's a mess anyway, especially after what happened yesterday with the Mets.
Oh yeah, me and Parker were talking about that a little earlier.
Fred's a clown. Any chance he gets to redeem himself, he just flushes it.
Rob Manfred?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, the cleats for Trevor Bauer. I mean, I get it. Trevor Bauer's just being a buffoon.
The imbecile?
Yeah, but you can't let Trevor Bauer win that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You can never let Trevor Bauer win any situation.
Exactly. Which, saying that you can't wear those cleats lets Trevor Bauer win that situation because now he gets more clickbait. It's like when freaking Portnoy won the NFL thing with Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
Terribly managed. But, I mean, you can't just – they just did it, and now he gets, all press is good press is basically what Trevor Bauer is going for. So, Rob Manfred's not doing great.
No, that was like, I don't know. It just shouldn't be coming from the commissioner. And then the Mets GM retracted his comments after that.
Yeah,
It wasn't the GM directly. It was their ownership or something. They said his words in no way reflect.
Yeah, the ownership that's going to sell in a week.
No.
So I don't know if it's more Mets or more MLB or both.
Well, I mean, the commissioner is an owner's commissioner. He's not a player's commissioner. So,
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I guess, I don't know. It's the ownership.
Yeah, and then the bubble would probably. I mean, the idea of the bubble is probably smart, but the placement is just a little weird. I think we can all agree on that. So yeah, and then the other baseball news today: Aaron Judge went on the DL, hurt once again.
Shocking.
It's new.
Yeah,
it's like clockwork.
Yeah. So him, what'd you say?
He's made of glass, that guy.
He is made of glass. So yeah, and then today, Jackie Robinson Day. GOAT, even though Connor has once said he's overrated as a baseball player.
Which I agree.
Yeah. As a baseball player, many people have said that. As a Dodger fan, GOAT though.
Yeah, hero.
Yeah, why you have said.
Off the field,
hero.
Influential as top 2 influential athletes, Muhammad Ali, Jackie Robinson.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right there.
Yeah, correct answer.
On the field, also influential.
No, because that's just a byproduct of his off the field stuff. If you look at him strictly from a baseball standpoint, statistically, since that's the trend in the game, he had one good season. Then he was just an average baseball player. If, forgive me for saying this, he was a little paler, then he would not have been remembered in any meaningful way whatsoever.
But I think we can all agree, being Jackie Robinson Day, probably the most important day in terms of baseball and sports in general.
I agree.
Yeah, so I think we're all on the same page there, even though sometimes people might take it out of context when we're saying he was overrated. Simply on the field, statistically speaking.
Yes,
as a player, we've all said Muhammad
as
Ali,
a baseball player.
Yeah,
not as a man.
Yes, as the man, as important as anyone in terms of African American history when it comes to sports.
And what he did after he was done playing, he continued with the foundation and the stuff that they still do to this day.
Yep. So yeah, that should be good. I don't know how many games have went underway today. I know the Mets and Yankees are playing. So yeah, just the start of the activities today, and then Hard Knocks, third week.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
Boo.
Bolts.
Boo.
Connor, I will say, the Charger segments are a lot better than the Rams ones right now.
I 100% agree with that statement. I think the guy with the toothpick for the Rams is actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
He just runs around wearing a toothpick during practice and under his helmet and all that good stuff. I think that's pretty funny. But other than that, I think the Chargers coach yelling at the wide receivers to block was hilarious. And
the one linebacker for the Rams, the young kid, he was kind of funny.
When he talked with Brett Favre, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, he was funny. The Rams side, though, the only one that I find pretty entertaining almost every time he's on is McVay.
Right.
Yeah, he's cool.
Well, he sounds like, we've talked about it earlier, but he sounds like John Gruden. He's starting to get that tone and that
Gruden-esque.
Yeah. And then, the Charger one, though, I liked the Keenan Allen, Chris Harris segment that they had.
Yep.
Yeah. So the stadium's awesome.
It is. I actually did, when they did that live simulation and they showed Aaron Donald just going right after people, every play was like, "Hi, Jared, I'm right here," just mowing down the offensive lineman for the Rams. It's not great, not a great look, but I mean, Aaron Donald's top 5 player in the NFL.
Are you a fan of the Rams' new uniforms now that you've seen them? You're not?
No.
I don't really have a strong take on it either. I think they're The off-white ones, not amazing. I mean, you respect the attempt. I think Parker, do you like them?
Off-white, when properly executed, can't top it. Unless maybe a solid baby blue.
The powder blues for the Bullets are the best uniforms in sports.
I
I've said
would
that
agree.
for years.
That's
What are you shaking your head about?
Well, first of all, a 4-12 team cannot have the best uniforms. That's just a fact.
What was the record of the Panthers last year?
Did I claim that they had the best uniform in sports? No. You're making claims you can't back up here, player.
I was just humbling you.
Humbling me? You switched teams like 3 times.
Yep.
Okay. Now I have to talk about it again. Now I have to defend myself again.
Absolutely. Because, no, let me stop you right there. Because I will explain to you what happened from an outside source who watched it happen live. Okay? I was there. You were a Chargers fan. As was I. It was a mistake. It was a dark period. Then you followed my example of picking a team that was bad and then watching them grow to be good, sort of. Then, once you decide to go back to being a Chargers fan for one sole reason, and that was...
Gunslinging Phil had me convinced.
It was 18 reasons. Gunslinging Phil and his 17 kids.
I mean, come on.
But he's no longer on the team, so it would follow that because, you're so whimsical with your loyalty to teams that you would choose a new team.
Bolts.
No, I'm still locked in on the Bolts. I think we have a chance to be really good this year.
You don't.
What's even better is that the year you left the team, the Titans made the AFC Championship.
That's the cherry on top. So maybe, if you want, you can be a Panthers fan this year and then be a different fan, and then maybe we'll win the Super Bowl. I don't know.
Okay. When your quarterback wears 2 gloves, you can't.
Don't make fun of Teddy Two Gloves. He has no role in this conversation.
That's a very good point. And who is the quarterback for the Bolts?
Tyrod Taylor. Taylor.
Who?
He is a playoff quarterback.
Who?
Tyrod Taylor.
Did he win?
Yeah, he won in the playoffs.
How many games?
No, he
Won.
didn't.
Pretty sure he's won 1.
Oh, you don't know. You don't know. It's a team of unknowns sharing a stadium.
Team of unknowns? What are you talking about? Name 4 players on the Panthers.
McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey.
There's 1. Okay.
Eddie Two Gloves, as you guys put it. We got the receiver. What's his name?
DJ Moore.
The cornerback.
DJ Moore, thank you. We have the Shaq Thompson. He's the linebacker, the heir apparent to Luke Kuechly. If you don't want to talk about it, that was a painful day for everyone. The kicker, Joey Sly. We got rid of Graham Gano because, he tore a labrum in his hip or something, which I didn't know was a thing. The head coach is pretty cool. Matt Rule, formerly of Baylor University. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, suck it, Mig.
There's 5.
Okay, well,
that's been addressed finally. We now have the truth.
Okay, so when I switched teams, it was before the start of last season, and I was tired of Ryan Suckup being our best player. I was tired of that. And then it was very painful to watch Derrick Henry and miraculous Ryan Tannehill lead the team to the AFC Championship. It was painful to watch, but I stayed true. I didn't say, I was kidding. I was a Titans fan. Nope. I stayed true to the Bolts, and I didn't switch back once I figured out the Titans were good.
Or are you not a closet Patriots fan?
No, absolutely not.
He's a closet Brady fan. He's a
closet Brady fan, absolutely. I
You're not
comment on all of Tom Brady's photos on Instagram.
You're not then that's not a closet Tom Brady fan because I was there when we went into the Tom Brady store.
True.
When you
I
wanted
went
to
in
get
there.
a juice drink, you wanted to get a smoothie. It was
It's true, I
ridiculous.
did. But it was like a $40 smoothie, so it wasn't worth it.
So that's not a closet Patriots fan. That's the question I'm asking you.
No, I'm not a closet Patriots fan. Do I respect Bill Belichick? Absolutely. Do I respect Cam Newton? And he can return to his former glory? I absolutely do think. And I know that you're a closet Patriots fan because you're a Cam Newton fan.
No, I am a Cam Newton fan. Always have been, always will be.
But you're not a closet Patriots fan.
No.
So, like, if Cam Newton wins MVP and Super Bowl MVP.
We all know he's not going to, but that's fine.
Right, because Mitch Trubisky's – or no, not Mitch Trubisky.
Mitch Trubisky. Okay, come on.
The Bears are for another conversation.
Yeah, we don't have time to get into that.
No.
Josh Allen's going to win MVP. I said that earlier, a couple months ago.
Josh, no. He's like
Josh Allen.
Tall. He's 18 feet tall.
So?
All you have to do is like hit him in the knee, and if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Yes, it does. Every time Josh Allen gets sacked. That's what it sounds like.
Josh Allen is
Nope, don't say it.
Is a better version of Lamar Jackson.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Hands down, 100%.
No.
MVP. Bills are winning the AFC East.
That's where you're just – I mean, the Bills will win the AFC East, I think. I think they're relatively solid on both sides of the ball. But
you still have to –
Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen.
All roads to the Super Bowl go through Kansas City anyway. So what's the – I don't understand the point. So let's say, for example, that the Bolts make it – just say the Chargers make it to the Super Bowl. Sure. There's no chance, and I mean no chance, that they beat Kansas City or in the AFC Championship. There's no chance. There's no chance. Unless the plane crashes on the way to San Diego. The Chiefs
Not San Diego.
That's right. L.A. Yeah, to their shared stadium. Good one.
Well, I mean, the Chiefs struggle. The Chiefs could struggle if Tyreek goes down. If Patty Mahomes goes down, they could struggle. You don't know who even. Yeah.
But Andy Reid is a champion.
Bro.
He'll just wear a Hawaiian shirt and eat a cheeseburger and call it a day, and somehow go out there with a mop. The cheeseburger wrapper that he's eating his cheeseburger from, and the hanger for his Hawaiian shirt, and still win games.
True.
Speaking of elite players, Peyton and I have our fantasy football draft next week.
No, not next week. Tomorrow.
Or tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. I have the 4th overall pick. Peyton has the 3rd overall pick.
I'm also the defending champion, and you're the defending Super Bowl,
runner-up.
Who's it? Runner-up, yeah.
The Super Bowl. Wow. Okay, so who we think we're picking then?
I will say it now. Assuming McCaffrey goes 1, Barkley goes 2, I'm going to go Zeke. And Connor, I assume you're going
Michael Thomas.
Old Faithful, yes.
See? He knows.
Yes.
I am not a Ezekiel Elliott fan, but in terms of carries and production and playing all 16 games, he's proven to do so. So it's a safe pick, unless I have a change of heart for Kamara at the last second. I will probably be going Zeke.
That's an interesting point, though. He played on one leg last year.
Kamara?
So it's So it's going to be, that's going to be a tough decision. It's probably going to be a game time decision for me who I go with there.
Between Kamara and Thomas?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I keep trying to convince myself about Kamara taking him over Zeke, and I'm just not sure as of yet. So we'll see.
One could make the argument that since Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes are basically running backs that also throw the ball, that could be a worthwhile first-round pick. I mean, depending on – because, Patrick Mahomes puts up 48 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar Jackson, same thing. So one could make the argument that in lieu of – if you can't make up your mind, you could always just draft Patrick Mahomes. And you could probably be okay.
Connor, would you do that?
Yeah, just because of who has our number 1 overall pick in our draft. Probably the biggest Ravens fan ever, or that I've ever encountered, has the number 1 overall pick. So he's going to go McCaffrey, and then second round he's going to go Jackson.
If he's there.
Well, you could just ruin his day.
Right. I could do that. But also, with that combination, that's going to be hard to beat with McCaffrey and Lamar Jackson.
So you got to think about strategically, because then, Michael Thomas will probably still be there in the second round.
There's 12 people in our draft. I don't think if I leave him up there.
Well, then you pick Drew Brees. So every time Michael Thomas scores, then you have Drew Brees.
I am a fan of pairing quarterback with your top wide receiver. Like, I think if you were to get one of the Bucs receivers this year, wait a little bit for Brady. I think that could be a good, interesting combo. I don't know which of the Bucs receivers between Godwin and Evans, but just an example.
Gronkowski.
And then, so we'll see. Connor, you might be able to go Jackson in the second round.
If I do that, if I go Thomas Jackson, watch out, team.
That is, nice.
Who is the kicker for the Ravens?
Tucker.
That would be a wise pickup depending on the quarterback that you get, especially if it's a high-scoring quarterback. It's just double the points. Or you get an extra point for every touchdown that they score if you have that kicker.
Yeah, that's true. That's how I always feel about Kansas City's kicker too. Butker, just those offenses that just put up a ton of points every week, especially if other. Yeah, I have that same train of thought. But so Connor on his way towards redemption tomorrow. It begins. The interesting component this year that we have involved is the prize money remains. But the winner also gets jersey of their choice from a player of their team. So that could add a interesting component to who people draft.
I mean, if I would draft Keenan Allen just so I could get a powder blue Keenan Allen jersey.
Well, what you could also do too is, so say you have the Chargers defense. You can
get Derwin James.
Anyone from that. Well, anyone on that defense. Joey Bosa. Yeah. So there's definitely ways kind of around it.
Yeah, but I need redemption after last year. Parker was there when I sat and watched my team crumble in Buffalo Wild Wings.
And I was at a Kings game watching as my team was victorious. Aaron Jones.
You had
Kirk Cousins.
I had Kirk Cousins, and I had the backup running back for the Vikings, who just was terrible, who scored 4 points, and Kirk Cousins just decided, to pull off primetime Kirk Cousins, and was terrible. So it was the worst. And then Chris Carson got injured, so that's why I had, some bum as my other running back.
And then even better, I got to send gifts of the "you like that" Kirk Cousins said.
That's tough. That's why you don't draft people with memes about them. Because if it backfires, it just gets
Actually, Connor, did you even draft Kirk Cousins?
I did not draft Kirk Cousins. Do you know who my starting quarterback was week 1?
I don't. Drew Brees?
Mitchell Trubisky.
No way.
Mistake.
Yep. It was Kevin's fault. Kevin told me to draft Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh, Kevin.
You actually went a week starting Trubisky?
Yep. And I still ended up on the.
And I still made it.
That's right.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
The biggest move that I made was I picked up Devontae Parker and I picked up Drew Brees.
You drafted Michael Thomas.
That too, and Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, I forgot you had Dalvin Cook.
Oh, that's right. I remember.
You want to go with Dalvin Cook again this year at 4? Or at 5? Whatever you have?
Because he wants to get traded. So if he gets traded, I don't think he's going to get traded in the next 24 hours. But, I mean, they have such a balanced offense in Minnesota where it's like, are we going to give Thielen the ball? Or are we going to give Dalvin Cook the ball?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's more like a run offense, then I would draft Dalvin Cook. Or where it's more centered around Dalvin Cook, then I would draft.
Parker, you have any fantasy football thoughts?
No, not really.
Parker, you want to join a league? You should join a league, and then maybe we'll let you in next year.
Yeah, no, it'd be a waste of money on my part.
Just play DraftKings.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun to watch football when you're actually invested in it besides your own team.
Connor, do you do FanDuel or DraftKings?
I did a couple of things at DraftKings last year, but I know that's all of Griffin's thing, so he kind of does it more than I do.
You should do it again. Do it again this year. It's fun.
You have to have money to lose. That's the problem. My whole issue with the DraftKings thing is because people just put a computer algorithm in, and then they find like this person that has no business scoring 30 points, and for that 1 week, and you're drafting people like the old-fashioned way, and then they find the slot receiver who apparently in this game decides to get open every single time. And then you never end up winning any money, or you win like $1.
What's worse is when you have when you're off to a hot start and you're like, oh, I'm going to win money and stuff like that. And then exactly like you said, some random just goes off and ruins it, and you just see yourself steadily fall. It's sad.
Or my personal favorite, when you're in the winning, like you're winning, and then you get to Monday and you're still winning, and then somebody picks a defense that gets like 3 interceptions and you lose by 1 point and it knocks you out of the money, and you're just sitting there. Like, I did all of this and the defense caused 1 fumble, and then that was it.
Yep.
Mondays suck.
And then we have our new Pick'em League this year too. Connor is in it.
You want to be in that, Griffin?
Yeah, do you want to be in?
Yeah, I want to play.
Okay.
I've never been invited to anything.
I'll send you the information for it, or I'll send Connor to give it to you. But yeah, we're just doing a Pick'em. How much did I say, Connor, is the entry?
I think it's like 20.
$5,000.
And then so we'll do 20, and then we're doing Pick'ems with spreads.
I don't think you're prepared for the animal that is about to be unleashed, because I have friends that have quit all their fantasy football leagues this year and are going to be dying around week 2. People who have vested interests in seeing me succeed. Kevin.
Yeah, unbelievable. Kevin's our manager, and I've told you guys about him, but he's just a degenerate gambler. And so he knows everything about gambling. And so he just gives out random picks, and he always wins. It's the worst.
Connor, have you ever been in something where like spreads are involved?
A couple times, yeah.
Because you'll see in football when the Raiders and like Browns will play, and they'll have
games
a
matter.
Spread of 6.5, and then they win by 7 or 5. It's the worst thing in the world.
And that's when people throw things.
Yep.
Including myself.
I've told you the story about how the Texans and Titans played. This is why I don't like Derrick Henry. They could have ran the clock out and they would have covered a spread, but instead they ran a halfback dive, 80-yard touchdown, didn't cover the spread, and I lost $200.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
One of the most upsetting things ever.
Makes football more fun to watch.
That is true.
All right, I'll play. It'll be a joint Griffin Kevin squad. We're gonna take all of your money.
Do we have any more topics on here, Parker?
Would you like me to look at the topic sheet?
Well, is it just any other? You're more of the baseball guy here. Is there any more things you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Not a baby.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, as you can see, Parker's in his new location, Fullerton.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Did you put like a nail for your keys there?
Yeah, it's a little hook.
Okay.
Hey, I'm loving the wall decor, man.
That's what Connor's saying. I have more stuff. It just fell off. So
You don't have what? You don't have more stuff.
I do.
No.
Yeah, I can.
It looks like you're in a hotel lounge in a Ramada Inn in like Toledo. Because what is that? A coffee machine behind you?
Yeah, it's my Keurig.
Uh-huh. And
I have a fridge here.
It looks like a hotel conference room in like Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I think it looks great, Parker.
But yeah, I mean, if you got more stuff, liven it up, player.
Yeah, it's my first week living here, so give me some time.
What did you do? What did you do for the past week?
Sat here a majority of the time. Ran a couple errands.
So in all of that sitting, you couldn't find time to put stuff up on the wall?
No.
Didn't think so. Okay. I understand.
Parker needs to get a TV so he can, do things.
They don't have cable here. They had cable when I signed my lease.
But they have Wi-Fi, and you can go on Netflix, Hulu, stream some stuff, do whatever.
Some laptops for it.
Catch up on all the movies that we referenced.
Yeah.
Why don't you just buy an Apple TV for the TV?
That's what Connor said. I don't know. Don't know how that works. So
it's very simple. You plug it into the TV, and then you download stuff, like a Roku.
Yep. Or buy a PlayStation. That's the other.
I'm not going to do that. It's expensive, and I don't game.
You don't want to play the show? That'll give you something to do. Maybe you can even play for the Dodgers if you try hard enough.
It's true.
Speaking of video games, I probably wasted $60 on Madden today to literally get a glorified roster update.
Yeah.
But yeah, they gave me a free Lamar Jackson Funko Pop, so that was cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that made it worthwhile.
Yeah. How old are you?
20. So now I have a Lamar Jackson Funko Pop just sitting here. While an 8-year-old should have it.
That's correct. Okay, good. You got where I was going with that. Thank you.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, good.
Lego Star Wars coming out.
Also for 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
No.
For men?
Oh, yes.
I did see the trailer. I can't lie.
But it's only for Xbox.
Victory requires sacrifice.
So we're going to go buy an Xbox? All right. I'm down.
No, we just take it out of...
Oh, does this buffoon have it? He's frozen. You guys are all frozen. Huff. Let me tell you.